Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the PESLeague World Finals here live in London. We have said goodbye to 8 of our finalists. We have 8 that remain, all battling it out for a chance to not only be the world champion, but for the lion's share of $350,000. We are now in the knockout stages, no second chances, it's win or go home. My name is Bryce, and I am not alone to bring you the action for the next few games. Joining me in the studio this time, it is going to be our very English gentleman, Adam, and our resident PES expert, or President, Graham.
Yes, very English gentleman.
Yes, as the way he was described the other day.
Yes, he's a president, isn't he? Sorry, my mic was muted then, I just turned it on. We've obviously got a lot of great players that have already made it through. Some, like you mentioned, that have been knocked out. I would like to say, before we get into it and bog down with predictions and stuff, my top 3 are still in the tournament. I won't go into names, but I have, off-air, said my 3 are still there.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, let's have a little look at that bracket graphic then and see exactly who has made it through into this knockout stage. So you can see we have Mayageka against GuiFera in the first game. Tiamat PW versus Yona KRA. Then Neo Lofty versus Editori. And O'Neill versus Jose. Guys, who stands out for you here? What is the matchup that kind of tickles your fancy?
Well, see, I'm quite excited for Mayageka versus GuiFera. I mean, Mayageka, obviously, we assumed he was this unknown, prospect. Was he going to be good? Was he going to be bad? Was he going to be amazing? And he's clearly set the event on fire today in GuiFera. Obviously, he's come in with the prestige that we know from a PES world finalist, grand finalist. So that is an absolutely amazing match in the first round of knockouts for me.
For me, I'm very interested to see the Neo Lotfi versus Etorito, because Neo Lotfi, from what I saw earlier, similar playing style to Tiamat, so can he again derail Etorito with that same sort of mentality, same gameplay? So that's very interesting for me. And of course, O'Neill and Jose have met each other before at the regionals.
That's a replay of the...
It's a replay of the final from the Barcelona regional finals. So, I mean, the names are in the hat.
All right, well, we'll see who kind of starts going through in each one of these games as we go on. But like I said before we went to a break, it has slightly changed. These are now 2-leg games in the quarterfinals and the semi-finals, meaning that they will play twice and the aggregate from the games will be added up to find our winner. Guys, how does this change maybe the strategies or the mentality of some of these players coming in here? Not only, I mean, you don't get a second chance, but at least you get a second game, right?
You kind of see, I mean, we always talk about the turning points in a game is 65, 75 minutes, where you get the fresh legs on the pitch. But you essentially get that almost 3 times. When you get to 65, 75 minutes, that is a key turning point. The start of the next game is a key turning point. And then in the second game, 65, 75 minutes, when the stamina is drained again. So you've got like 3 key points where the players can utilize changes or different shapes. So, yeah, 3 key points we're going to see across the course of the next 2 games. And it changes your mindset throughout all the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's a case of before it was fresh, the group stages, we're now into the knockout stages. This is where it starts getting a little bit tighter, a little bit more cagey. These players now have separated themselves as the top 8 in the world right now. So the difference between the players, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how they can pit each other obviously the prize money's up for grabs as we get towards the end as well. So it's starting to dawn on them that they could be in for a serious victory here.
Certainly so. All right, let's look at our very first matchup for the games we are going to see. Mayageka versus GuiFera is going to be the game going through. All right, let's kind of cover these games here a little bit. Graham, I know these 2 players you certainly talked about a lot earlier on, but who comes out on top?
Oh, see, I chose Jose, thinking regional champion. He's been here already offline and done this in Europe. I chose him to defeat Mayageka in the last match that we had with Mayageka on the stream. Mayageka obviously ripped up that form book and did it for himself. So, do you know what? I'm going to go with Mayageka. I know Adam, I'd assume, would stick with his guns because he's had a little bit of a soft spot for GuiFera since Milan, but is that right, Adam?
Yeah, I mean, Mayageka obviously finished top, I believe, in the Asia regional final. So, you know, he's done amazingly to qualify for that and to get to here. He was absolutely amazing in the game against Jose, which I was lucky enough to watch. But for me, obviously, GuiFera is one of my top three that was going into today. Got to the finals last year, unlucky, was winning in the final, just pipped to the post. He's a year older, a year more experienced, and that's going to be my tip for this one over the two legs.
You're super in the GuiFera. You think that this is his year?
Yeah, I think. I mean, he only finished third in the regional finals in the Americas, but I believe that to qualify twice in 2 years for a World Finals and to do so well in the first finals, the confidence levels, the actual ability, I mean, he must be right up there.
At the age of 17,
At the age of 16 and 17 is just incredible.
Well, Mayageka stands in his way. Mayageka, a player that we didn't think had the biggest of chances of coming through to this stage, did make it in a final game that was a little bit of an upset in a lot of people's minds. Is Mayageka good enough to stop the phenom of GuiFera?
But without a shadow of a doubt, he is good enough. He beat Jose in the last match, albeit over one leg and not two like now, but he beat Jose, and of course Jose won his regional finals quite convincingly as well. So he's more than got the pedigree to go on and win over the two legs. It's just a case of, I suppose, personal preference on the day and how you feel they've performed over the last sort of year or so.
I mean, it's a massive cliche, but playing the match in front of you, and that's the difference. Is
not to try and see too far ahead.
Finish the game that you're in, think maybe about the second leg, and just play that. Forget who you're playing against and where they've come from. Everyone here has a reason to be here, so just play the best of your own.
I'm going to quickly jump back in time just a little bit here to talk about the second leg a little bit more, because for me there's a very interesting point about the fact that it's two legs. Is you're obviously going to go into your first game with a game plan, right? Your very first game is going to be a game plan. If it doesn't work out for you, you have another game to try it. But it will not be the strategy you thought was going to work best to begin with. Now, you have to kind of, in your own mind, figure out, did I just make the mistakes? Is my original play style the way I should be working? Or do I actually need to change my formations, the players I'm putting in different places, and play this significantly differently to manage to come back in the second leg? I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of players switching to a very much more aggressive game second time round.
Yeah, definitely. We spoke about players having multiple game plans, being attacking, being defensive, switching formations. We talk about it at length on PESLeague Live, so you have to be able to manipulate your formation on the fly.
All right, this game is ready to go. So, Adam and Graham, please take us in.
Yeah, so here we are in the first game on the main stage for the knockout stages. This first of the two legs, kicking from left to right, is Mayageka from the Asia region, and of course GuiFera from the Americas. It's Japan versus Brazil here, and it is GuiFera with the early possession, but he has given it away on this right-hand side. Vidal, chance to get towards the edge of the penalty area as Luis Suarez is dispossessed. Graham, how do you see this game panning out? Is it going to be the classic cagey first leg affair?
It never is. It never is. Not at this stage, especially when you are one win away from a game that could win you at least $50,000. That's big, big, life-changing money, even finishing third place. So I highly doubt we're going to see KG at all. I mean, I'm happy to eat my words, and if we do, no doubt it will be a result of a great defensive display, but I expect attack and expect
So you think
intent.
goals?
I think goals.
So it's Luis Suarez here, plays it out towards Neymar on this left-hand side. Back to Luis Suarez. First chance here for GuiFera. And that is an absolutely incredible finish. Smashed into the top right-hand corner with the goalkeeper. Absolutely no chance. And what a start for the man from the Americas.
Manual finish, full power right into the top corner. That is the reason that man is a previous PES World finalist.
Just the start he wanted. He started like that in the final in Milan last year. He was pipped to the post at the end, but he started like an absolute house on fire as Neymar skips down the left-hand side. Chance to respond here for Mayageka. Saved by the goalkeeper, and somehow it just evaded the left leg of Luis Suarez, and that would have been an instant response, Graham.
Absolutely lovely turn then by Messi. Little dummy shimmy, and he's now fully attacking into the third. Obviously didn't have the men with him, as we see. And we hear cheers in the room as Tiomit goes.
Goals galore going round the grounds here. Like Graham mentioned, Tiomit from France, who started with a victory over Eterito today, is gone from strength to strength, and he's in a very firm favourite position at the moment as Neymar plays it down towards Jordi Alba on this left-hand side across the face. And somehow It's gone just the wrong side of the post when half the stadium thought that was in, Graham.
I thought that was in. I was in that half of that stadium.
O'Neill has taken the lead against Jose, which is a repeat of the final from Barcelona. Of course, O'Neill lost that one in Barcelona, but he has taken the lead here.
And that could be a big thing because Jose obviously went behind first. His head dropped and it was game over. O'Neill should have said, as we have an outstretched foot there from GuiFera. Couldn't add to his lead. And Mayageka living dangerously in this match now.
So it has been a really bright start from the man from Brazil, but he needs to take advantage of these chances. He can't afford to keep missing them. He needs to get that second goal, which will put him firmly in the driving seat, because all the while it's at 1-0. We know, Graham, football, goals change games.
Goals change games.
And that is the goal we were talking about. And it's Luis Suarez with a clinical finish into the left-hand corner. 26 minutes on the clock. And it's an equalising goal for the man from Japan, Graham.
And that goal has changed this game. And another cliche, as you were just touching on there, but I'll leave that just as we see Messi breaking into the box. But it
end-to-end stuff here in this opening first leg. You are correct in saying that this is not a cagey affair so far.
I was literally just about to say GuiFera 1-0 up. That shot just missing the post. Looks like he was taking the game by the scruff of the neck. But Mayageka got himself back into the game. GuiFera now still feeling like he's in control of this, but Mayageka now standing up a little bit more to the young Brazilian.
So we're seeing a pattern of play here that the man from Brazil, GuiFera, is taking the game to Mayageka, but Mayageka always a threat on the counter-attack. Very much more a defensive performance from the man who won the Asia regional finals, as the ball gets played out towards Lionel Messi on this right-hand side. Back to Rakitic, on towards Vidal. Lovely one-touch football here, the tick-attacker that Graham loves to talk about here on PES 2017. Played through towards Suarez. Back with Vidal, still the pressure on. Graham, what needs to happen here in the remaining 10 minutes of this first half, or are they going to both be happy with this scoreline?
I think they're both happy. Like I mentioned, there's 3 key touch points. I mean, halfway through the first game, it's 25% of the fixture. That means nothing at this point to the players. Getting the way into the second half, that's when it starts to ring home that...
It's a lovely ball through to Mascherano. Mascherano, no!
Whoa!
Lionel Messi!
Oh!
Did you like how I said Mascherano there? I was so excited because the ball got played through. He was onside with the goal at his mercy, and he just flashed it into the back of the net, and he's turned this game on its head. What a performance.
I mean,
from the man from Japan.
Phrase I absolutely adore saying is percentage play. Playing the percentages. Mascherano's not going to score from there, and
what a response again! It's turning into one of those games that you can't even begin to explain what's just happened, because before you know it, flash, there's been another goal. It's 2-2. We are finally balanced here in this first leg, and it feels at the moment like it's the last 10 minutes of the second leg, Graham.
I mean, I said goals. I expected goals. I didn't expect this sort of frantic pace. 4 goals in this fixture already. We still have a second half and another leg of this, so... we're in for a treat.
A lightning start to this first leg. In one of the other games, Eterito has taken a 2-0 lead as far as I'm aware. So a great start for him as the ball gets played goalwards, but it's a good save from ter Stegen down to his left-hand side and forward towards Neymar. Chance to counter. This end-to-end flowing football from both players is really, really kicking into gear now. It's through towards Neymar. Great defending in the end as we tick into the final minute of added on time here, Graham. What a start.
That is a game. That is probably the most exciting game that I've been commentating on today so far. 4 goals, end-to-end action, and everything still to play for us. We only have, straight into the second half. I mean, no messing about here from the players.
The way they've gone into the second half is exactly like they started and played the first half. It's been absolutely lightning here. As Jordi Alba picks the ball up on the halfway line. Back towards Busquets, in towards Iniesta. Lovely one-touch football again. Both players not dwelling on the ball at all. It's through towards Luis Suarez. Saved by ter Stegen into the back of the net. And the man from Brazil retakes the lead for the 3rd time in the match. Can he hold it now, Graham?
It's too early to say. I'm not putting my reputation on the line with this. That's
what
5
reputation, Graham?
Exactly.
You have no reputation. It's Lionel Messi. He twists and turns. He finds Vidal through towards Luis Suarez, who's onside. Good defending, though, as there's been another goal. It's a 4th for Eterito, who's storming towards the next stage, surely, as the shot goalwards is cleared off the line. and really that should have been an equalising goal.
Very, very calm in defence there. Played the ball out, played it back to the keeper to clear it, and now still in possession. And as I say that, curse to the commentator, as Eterito
5-0. He
scores
is
his
doing
fifth.
exactly what he did in the regionals. He lost to Tiamat and then steamrolled his way through, and he's doing it again at the moment. Graham, who is your pick right now from what you're seeing from results?
From results, it has to be Eterito, but GuiFera definitely isn't having any of that, and Mayageka, no doubt before the end of this game and the next leg, will have
It's
something
just,
to
I know
say.
it's not even the game we're showing you, but that is going to send shockwaves through this tournament yet again, much like the 10-2 game against Indominator at the regional finals. As it's played through, it's Luis Suarez, and it's wide of the target, off the block from the defender, and 3-2 to GuiFera from Brazil with half an hour remaining, and there has been a mere consolation, surely you feel, for Neo Lotfi in the game against Eterito, as the shot there from Mayageka is turned goalwards, but cleared away in the end. What does he need to do? Is he happy with 3-2 going into the second leg? Is he going to want to try and get that equalising goal?
Whether he gets it or not, I think he should be happy. Look at the opportunities he's had. Even just then, shot cleared off the line. Mayageka should not be worrying. No need to roll those proverbial dice at this point in time. Stick to your guns and play the game.
Proverbial dice.
Yes.
Like it. It's good.
I've said it about 3 times today.
I know, it's the only phrase you know, but yeah. As the only joke.
Says Mr. Cliche. Anyway, back to the game.
Vidal finds it out towards Lionel Messi on his right-hand side. Slight lull in proceedings, as they probably appreciate the actual sheer stage that they're on now as the ball gets played through. It's a foul there, and it's a chance here to take the free kick from Lionel Messi. Plays it short.
It is a very sheer stage, to be fair.
They like to play. Have you noticed today that most of the free kicks have been played short, and that's certainly a tactic that we're getting from PES 2017, especially at this level?
I think it's the mind games, and quite often you'll see, usually if there's a few free kicks in the game, players that then start playing the off-the-ball runs, changing the camera angles, as we have Luis Suarez now feeding Messi, but free kicks definitely are another opportunity to get into the head of your opponent.
Clear downfield, 67 minutes on the clock in this first leg, as there has been a seventh goal. The man from Italy storming through to the next stage into the semi-finals against Neo Lotfi, and O'Neill has taken a second goal lead against Jose. That could be a crucial goal as the ball's straight through. It's Jordi Alba. It's an equalising goal, and every single game is on a knife edge at the moment, other than the game between Eterito. This is the third equalising goal. What's going to happen now, Graham?
You tell me. 8-1. That's what's going to happen now. Eterito in the first leg elsewhere against Neo Lotfi. This guy is a really good player. He's qualified as a wildcard. He's now 8-1 down, whilst we have 6 goals in this match here.
Surely we need to look through the record books at some of this goal scoring talent, because to see that many goals through the regionals and the world finals has got to be right up there with the best, as the ball is cleared away. Back to this game, still finely balanced at 3-3 in this first leg. You feel it might close up a little bit as we approach the end of the first leg, Graham?
Possibly. But I think the thing for me is I want to see the replays. I want to see, it's so quick fire, you can't really get a grasp of it. But from what it looks like, from my impression, is GuiFera has powerful manual shooting, whereas Mayageka looks to essentially pass the ball into the back of net.
It's another chance here for GuiFera across the face, and it almost drops to Lionel Messi, but it's cleared away at the last attempt. Still, he's piling on the pressure, looking to go in front for the 4th time in this first leg. Saved by ter Stegen. You feel they've not really made any changes, have they? Are they just going to run this game out, do you feel?
It seems like nobody wants to make the first move, because it's obviously moves and counter.
I gave you the chance to do that dice one again there, but you didn't actually take it.
Well, they didn't want to roll those proverbial dice, Adam.
So just under 10 minutes, and then you've got the stoppage time. The 4th official just grabbing his board to see how many minutes will be added on as Busquets plays it forwards, and now intercepted forward towards Neymar. A goal now would give them a slight edge going into the next game. And it is
surge there by PK,
GuiFera, who has taken the lead 3 times in this match, has been pegged back that many times as well. Can he go in front for a 4th time, or will Mayageka take the lead for the first time in the match? He's through towards Jordi Alba. It is Mayageka on the attack here. Chance to get the shot away, or will he play across the face? It's blocked off his own man, it looked. Yes, it came off Neymar, the Brazilian, and out of play for a goal kick as the time is ticking away. Still no changes here between these two players. And, I mean, it's just been a case of attack versus defence, hasn't it, Graham?
Massively. And the thing to watch as well is no changes. Look at how many sloppy passes are going away. So even though you're in the lead and you don't want to be the
That's
one
a stunning
to...
pass from Neymar. Sorry to interrupt. And that is by far one of the best team goals we've seen today. It was one touch down the right-hand side, and then what we mentioned in the PESLeague live shows, that little chip-through ball has worked an absolute treat there.
And that first-time cross into volleyed finish, absolutely sensational finishing from GuiFera.
I mean, we've seen goals galore, and surely now, as we tick through the final seconds of this first leg, it has surely given the man from Brazil that elusive advantage going into the second leg, and that is what's known as a cynical professional foul. But there is a chance here, and probably the last chance of that, as an important goal's gone in the other game, and Jonah has turned that game on its head, and he now leads in the game against Tiamat, Graham.
And what a phenomenal performance we're seeing already from the Latin American players. GuiFera, 3-2, is it? It's been 4-3? I can't remember. There's so many goals.
3-2, I think.
But then 3-2 elsewhere in Jonah versus Tiamat's game. I mean, we mentioned a few times earlier on in this broadcast that this could be the year that the Americas stake their claim to the world title, and two of them are doing exactly that right now.
And two of them were in my top three. Lionel Messi plays it in towards Neymar. Neymar crosses towards the centre. I was going to say centre circle, but it's not. It's the penalty spot, and it's somehow ricocheted around that 6-yard box. And a wipe of the forehead for the man from Brazil, relieved to get through that match with that advantage, because he knows he's been in a game there, Graham.
Definitely 7 goals in that one match. I mean, usually you'd say that's a lot. There's been at least that by one player in another match, but we have the same again. This is only 50% of that final done.